Bowhunt or Die is being brought to you by Matthews, Lost Camo, New Archery Products, Tinks, Lone Wolf Portable Tree Stands, Stealth Cam, Carbon Express, Hunter Safety System, Heartland Wildlife Institute, Pine Ridge Archery, and the Can Cooker.
I'm Todd Graf.
And I'm Justin Czar.
Welcome to the start of Bowhunt or Die Season 2. As you saw, last year was one of our best hunting seasons ever. Our goal for Season 2 is to bring you with us throughout the year to show you what we're doing, so hopefully you can be more successful.
You know, before we start the 2011 season, we're going to wrap up a couple of late season hunts that we had from Season 1. We're going to join Dustin DeCroo as he heads down to Oklahoma in hopes of harvesting a nice buck. John Mueller wrapped up his difficult season with a deer tragedy. Todd continued to pursue his second buck of the year, and he had some awesome encounters. And finally, Dan Schaefer was still chasing his first whitetail harvest of the year. So now we're going to join Dustin DeCroo in Oklahoma for some late season hunting. As you may remember, Dustin was tagged out early in Wyoming, so he had to wait for the late season down in Oklahoma in hopes of tagging another nice buck.
It's January 7th. We're on day 2 of our weekend hunt. So this place has no food on us. We're sitting in a transition area, hoping these deer come off the wheat and alfalfa by our stand. Seen some good bucks on our trail camera, so hopefully we can pull one through. I don't know how that's going to turn out, but too many deer around. We're going to get drawn. We don't have any cover up here, but we're going to give her a little bit and see what we can go find.
All right, it's January the 7th, and I shot this doe this morning. Hit her back, got some liver. After about 6 hours of tracking, with help from my buddies, we found her down bedded by the creek. So I guess the Nat blood runner gave me enough damage to find her.
I know Dustin was upset not getting a buck, but you know what? He was able to put down a doe, he was able to do some quality deer management, which is always important, and he's already started off this year's season on the right foot. He's put 2 turkeys down, which will be in next month's episode.
Now let's join John Mueller back here in Illinois. As you may remember, John's been having a very difficult season. He's got some trail camera photos of some huge bucks, but he just hasn't been able to get close enough to seal the deal. Let's see if his luck's going to turn around in the late season.
Okay, here we are again, back in Jersey County, Illinois. Probably going to be one of the last few hunts I get this season. It's December 26th, day after Christmas, and I'll be hunting here today and tomorrow. After that, don't know how much I'll get back out. There's a few deer over in the neighbor's bean field. Problem is, it didn't come by me to get there. Well, that's one of the problems with this late season hunting. The deer are very, very spooky, and they can spot you up in a tree like nothing. any little movement, they don't stick around, they're gone. I think I just got me a late season doe out of my ground blind here. About a 20-yard shot. She's out here feeding in the beans. I didn't exactly see the arrow hit, but it sounded like a pretty good shot. I know where I was holding. Hopefully that's where I hit.
Wow, did John ever struggle trying to put down a buck this season? Finally, he decides to take another doe, and the coyotes get there first. You know, when you leave a deer in the woods overnight, it's a risk you take, and unfortunately, things didn't go the way John wanted.
Now we're going to check back in with Todd Graf here in Illinois. As you may remember, his Wisconsin season was a game of cat and mouse. He was seeing a lot of great deer, just couldn't get close enough to them. Now it's late season here in Illinois. He's hunting over some of his food plots where we know there's going to be some nice deer. Let's see how he did.
I can't talk. There's too many deer. This isn't gonna work. I'm surrounded by deer. I just got in here.
As nice as it was to see those great bucks, that was really frustrating. You know, this past season I put more time and effort into the tree stand than ever before. I really wanted to put down a second buck with my bow, but in the end, that's hunting. No matter how much effort you put into it, sometimes you're gonna come home empty-handed.
Next up, we're going to join Dan Schaefer in northern Wisconsin. You know, just like John Mueller, Dan's been having a really difficult season. He's got some trail camera photos of some really nice bucks, and he's seen a couple of them, but nothing close enough to shoot with his bow. Now that it's late season, he's hunting on his family farm over some food plots. Hopefully his luck's going to turn around.
It's December 28th, doing a little late season bow hunting here in Wisconsin. Kind of looks like a barnyard here because we have been feeding them here. We've been getting 2 gallons of corn every couple days, actually almost every day. And these deer have just been hitting it like crazy, and we're just doe hunting right now. We have a lot of does on this piece of the property, and we couldn't get our food plots in this year because it was too wet. So we're just here looking to take out a doe. Hoping our thunderhead gets to eat a little meat tonight. I think when I released, I hit my sleeve. I don't have an arm guard on here. And I hit my sleeve, did it? Jerked off, and I hit her back a little far. Oh, quite a bit far. She's 16 yards, and how can you screw that up? But apparently I did somehow. She's just standing there, and I feel sick. I hate hitting them back like that, but she's gonna die. I guess it's just a matter of time and waiting for her to die. It's 6:20 right now. We gave this deer 6 hours. We're gonna go in here and take a look. We think we might have got liver, so hopefully she's gonna be bedded in the second bed. We saw her get up out of the one bed, walk a little ways, and we saw her bed down again, what we think. So hopefully she's bedded back down, and hopefully we find her right there. If not, we're gonna have to come back in the morning and take a look again. So hopefully we got her right now. So let's see if we can find it. December 28th, late season doe hunt is exactly what we're looking for. Looking to take out a big mature doe. Got a lot of does on this property. And this doe came in without any fawns. This is exactly what we're looking for. Shot was a little bit far back. Let her lay 6 hours. Came up, she was laying her dead. We got liver on the one side, so not such a bad hunt. Not such a bad track drop, showing about 120 yards. It's exactly what we're looking for to take out another doe on this property. Gotta love late season bow hunting with all this snow on the ground and cold temperatures and that. I love it.
You know, that may not be a monster buck, but when it's the end of the season, it's still nice to put a deer on the ground and put some meat in the freezer.
Well, that wraps up all the hunting action that we had from season 1 of Bow Hunt or Die. We really hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, as soon as the hunting season was over, the next season began, and our team has been out working hard, looking for sheds, scouting properties, doing some land maintenance, prepping for food plots. So check this out.
Hey guys, it's February the 12th, and I'm back on my home piece of property here in Virginia. We're going to create a man-made funnel with our chainsaws. We got a nice, about 1 acre food plot that does really well during the fall. Any given afternoon, there will be as many as 20 deer in this food plot. But the problem is they just enter from all directions, and it makes it really frustrating to bow hunt because they just filter from the timber into the food plot wherever and however they feel. So we're just going to go back here in the timber, cut a whole bunch of junk trees, some poplars and some locusts, just some less desirable trees that don't provide much to wildlife. We're just going to cut those and make a pinch point basically to funnel the deer into the food plot where we can hunt them more effectively. Guys, we just finished our first project of the day with the chainsaw. As you can see, we created a man-made funnel. I don't know how long it is, like 50 or 60 yards, but it's going to make a world of difference come fall. It's we're going to have a lone wolf stand about 20 yards from where I am standing right now, which is the end of the funnel, and it should just push the deer right into the food plot. You know, if all goes according to plan, we should shoot a deer the first time we sit here. So we just need a perfect west wind, October, and be good to go.
All right, guys, it's February 18th. We're out on our shed hunt today, and lo and behold, we've been out of the truck not 2 minutes, and I see a big busted beam laying under a tree. That is a big tip, isn't it? Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Yeah, it looks pretty nice on there.
That's over 70. I think I just found an absolute monster shed. I'm talking gigantic. I'm not sure. It's about 40 yards ahead of me right now. Greg, come right here. Dude, it's a giant. I mean a giant. Look at, oh!
Wow.
You guys.
I'm speechless.
Was in between John and I happened to glance over and see it first. It's a year-old shed laid out here a while, but here it is. Wow.
What do you got to say, Richie?
Not a bad shed.
Snow is finally melting, spring's here, we're out moving sets and just looking for sheds, and we found the worst kind of shed.
Frustrating.
Yeah, we've been hunting this buck muley. We got probably 100, 200 pictures of this deer all over this property, and we just happened to come up on him here, and we found the buck, and what the hunters couldn't do, the winter took care of on this guy. It's without a doubt the same deer. He's the characteristic. He's got 5 points on this side and a big swooping split. We called him muley. And we were after him. So it's really too bad. Just the stresses of the rut. They wear these deer down. So
April 9th, Saturday morning, heading out to my spot where I killed a little Mac last fall. Gonna meet up with Mike. We're gonna take a look around, see if we can't find any sheds. Gotta do it now. Things are starting to green up pretty quickly, so we're gonna get out there, take a walk for a couple of hours, see what we can see.
Alright guys, we're here actually at the spot where I shot my buck this past fall, Little Mac, and when you watch the video, when I draw back on him when he's coming down to this creek, it looks like he's actually pretty far away from me, but in reality, he's probably only 8, maybe 10 yards at the very best. This is the tree right behind me that I was actually sitting in the morning that I shot him, so when he came across this creek right here, he stopped up here, I couldn't get a shot at him, and then we jumped across the creek. Obviously you guys saw what happened. I bleated at him, and he tried to run out of here, and he ran over here, and luckily he stopped. But I mean, literally this tree that I was in is basically pencil thin. There's no cover on it, and I always said that if a deer came down here and really ever looked up at me, that I was going to be busted. But fortunately the cover around us is so thick that it's kind of, you got one opportunity. When they come down to this creek, you better shoot them if it's a nice buck. And fortunately I was able to harvest that deer. But we're probably going to be putting another stand back in this tree for this year. We're going to try to get up a little bit higher. Mike's going to be with me hopefully filming this year. Maybe we'll get another buck to come across this creek. But we're out here scouting today, haven't found any sheds yet. Still got a lot of tracks crossing this creek, so hopefully next fall this will be a good spot again.
So it's early April, and Justin and I are here in northeastern Illinois, and actually the farm that Justin has been hunting for a few years. The problem with this farm has been actually because of modern farming. There really is no food come October and November. They plow these fields under, they dump manure on them, and it's always been the biggest issue here at this farm. Plenty of cover, just no food. So Justin and I are going to implement a few food plots this year. Starting here, we got another one working about a quarter-mile away, and possibly a third one if we can find a spot. But the idea is to give these deer a little bit more food so they have a place to congregate, because the problem is this farm is a good 2,000, 3,000 acres, and there are so few deer that it's hard to concentrate them, so it's very hard to hunt them. So if we can put a few food plots in, a few cheap, poor man food plots, possibly we can get these deer to congregate and we can get on top of a few decent bucks that sometimes travel through looking for does.
Well, just finished a good 7.5 mile walk with Mike today out at property that him and I are going to be hunting this fall, where I killed one of my bucks last year, and we didn't find any antlers. We ran into a couple pretty good signs, you know, some nice rubs, a couple scrapes that I didn't know were there from last year, so kind of starting to formulate a plan on what we're going to do for next year, or I should say for this fall actually. No shed antlers today. The only things I did find was the other half of my arrow from the buck that I killed, Little Mac, this fall. Found that, and I found a horseshoe. We got a good 7.5 mile walk in, some good exercise anyway, did a little bit of scouting, and we're going to be ready to start hitting it next month, start putting in some food plots, so check back next month, we'll have an update for you.
This is just the beginning. Over the next several months, we're going to be bringing you a lot of updates, from food plots, planting, preparation, to our mineral sites, to tuning our bows, to the big bow shoot that we've got coming up in June, which hopefully you're going to attend, and more importantly, the bucks that we're going to be chasing this fall.
You know, when we're not out in the woods hunting, we're back here at the office, we're going to trade shows, working extremely hard to make bowhunting.com the best hunting website on the internet. You know, starting in December, we went to the Matthews Retailer Show, then we went to the ATA Show and the SHOT Show. We've put together literally hundreds of videos on all the new products for this year, so make sure you go to bowhunting.com. In the video section, click on new products, and you can see hundreds of videos of all the new bow hunting gear that's available for this year.
This year, Bowhunting.com had a booth at the Illinois and Wisconsin Deer Classics. What a great time that was. We had a chance to meet a lot of grassroots hunters and meet a lot of the fans of our site. For those of you who did attend and received one of our free gear giveaway cards, it's still not too late to see if you're a winner. Log on to Bowhunting.com and enter in your unique code to see if you won.
Well, that just about wraps up this episode of Bowhunt or Die. Remember that now through August, we're going to be bringing you a monthly episode that's going to update you on what our team has been doing throughout the summer months. That includes food plots, 3D shoots, tuning our bows, trail cameras, and everything that we're doing just like you guys are. Once big game seasons start opening up in September, we're going to be bringing you a weekly episode every Friday morning that's going to showcase our season as it happens.
Remember, if you're not already one of the 16,000 fans following us on Facebook, make sure you log on to facebook.com/bowhunting. Post your trail camera photos of the bucks you're going to be chasing this fall on our wall to have a chance to be in our next month's episode.
Look at, oh!